Ladies and gentlemen, we are right around the corner of Season 3 Reloaded of Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone. And as per usual, with a season reloaded, it's a mini season. So it's an update within the season that adds a bunch of new things. And Season 3 is absolutely no exception. And based off of the information that we already know that we were given at the beginning of Season 3, there's a lot that is coming. And of course, when we actually get the blog post and the information, I will keep you guys updated. But when we do, we're going to get even more information. But for now, what I wanted to do was make a video breaking down everything that we know is already coming to Season 3 Reloaded. Because as I mentioned, it is quite a bit. And one of the biggest things people are probably wondering about, we're going to start with that, and that is zombies. Now, the reason why I bring up zombies first is because with the beginning of Season 3, we really didn't get anything in regards to zombies. However, with Season 3 Reloaded, they are adding a bunch more. First of all, we have our new story mission, which is saving Dr. Jansen. So this is going to add to the story of the game. We don't know at this point whether it's going to be, again, a part of Act 4 or whether it is going to be a brand new act altogether. But what we do know is that our job is going to be saving Dr. Jansen within this mission. Now, of course, because of this, we are going to be getting a third rift. So as far as rifts goes, we know how they work. We get access to them. Once we do, we get inside, generally have to complete some things. Once you do so, you complete the act, and then you can complete an Easter egg to go into another version of it where you can get our next thing, which is the new schematics. So honestly, I think these are the weakest schematics that we have seen yet, but I'll go over them really quick. First of all, we have the dead wire detonators. As far as this one goes, this is essentially a dead wire mod, but for explosives is essentially how it works. The second one that we have is the golden mask filter. This is a mask that, like the golden plates, regenerates by itself. You don't have to go and pick up another mask. Now, the one thing that I am curious about this is if you use it, do you get to keep it as long as you don't die like you would other masks? Or when you get out, is it just another durable mask in your next game? And then finally, we have the Sergeant's Beret. As far as this one goes, essentially what it's going to do is going to give you someone like a dog, but this time they are a mercenary. They can shoot a weapon, they can go around, I believe they can revive you. Very similar to a dog, but they've also got some ranged abilities as well. We also have a new warlord. This warlord is called Rainmaker. Now, this one is going to take place on Raha Island, right across from Sahin Manor. And we don't know too much about it. What we do know is that he has upgraded the defenses of his fortress, so it'll be harder to get into. And we know that he specializes in artillery and demolition, which probably means explosives, which could be very, very annoying. And of course, there's going to be a reward for completing this. But they say expect mortar rounds and RPG fire to descend on your squad. So you're going to have to be careful that way. Explosives are definitely going to be a problem when it comes to Rainmaker. Also, just a side note, on the day of May 1st, when Season 3 Reloaded comes out, is going to be the start of me streaming every single weekday, Monday through Friday. The times are going to vary a little bit. Eventually, I will have a schedule nailed down. We're going to be streaming Call of Duty almost every single day. But on top of that, we're going to be mixing some other games in there as well, hanging out, having a good time. And if you want to join one of the streams, be sure to check out my Twitch, which will be linked down in the description. But May 1st, mark your calendars. When the update comes out, we'll be gaming. Now, moving into multiplayer, the first thing that we have here is two new maps. The first of which is called Checkpoint. It says it's a small size map. Now, this is a repurposed map. So in other words, if you'd recognize it, this is from Rebirth Island. It is the stronghold area on Rebirth Island, and you should know it if you've played just a little bit of Rebirth Island, but they say that this one is going to be a small-sized map. The other one is medium-sized, small to medium-sized to be specific, but it is called Grime. It is once again a 6v6 map, and as far as this one goes, we have water down on the south side, a building up on the north side, and a kind of more open to mid-sized gunfight area throughout the middle. I would expect SMGs and ARs to kind of reign supreme on this map like we see with most of the maps in this game, but you can see the aesthetic of it, and I will say it looks pretty good. It takes place in England's capital city, specifically in the London Canal. We also have two new game modes, the first of which I probably will not be playing. It is called Minefield. As far as this one goes, it's a set amount of game modes, so kill confirmed, domination, and hardpoint, but when you kill someone, they drop a mine. So it's kind of like having martyrdom for proximity mines, which means by the end of the game, there is going to be mines literally everywhere, and it'll be very, very annoying. Now, your team's mines will not damage your team, but they will damage the other team. I don't imagine seeing myself play that one very much. And then the one that I am excited for is escort. So escort works where you have to escort this drone across the map from one side to the other. We've actually seen this recently in X Defiant, which I did a couple of videos on. This was one of my favorite modes. I believe it was in either Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 where they had this one, and I always had a lot of fun playing it. So it's good to see this one return, and I honestly didn't expect this one when it got announced. The next new thing that we have is something called enhanced vision goggles. Now, essentially the way that these work is you can toggle between normal vision and enhanced vision with integrated targeting highlighting abilities. It has a limited battery to kind of balance it, but overall I could see this being a very, very strong piece of equipment, and I'm interested to see how it integrates in Warzone, because that could be really, really strong if you're using some sort of long range meta on Warzone. The other thing that is new is called an EMD mine, and essentially the way that this one works is it's like a proximity mine, but instead of exploding, it shoots out a tracking device which will stick to someone, and then it'll show you their location on the map. Again, this could be good for something like search and destroy or something along those lines. As far as new weapons goes, as of right now, we know of one new weapon. It's an assault rifle, and if you played Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, you would know this one is the BAL 27. It was the best gun, or at least one of them, with the ASM one back in that game, and I'm pretty excited to see this one come as well. Now, as far as unlocking this weapon, they say it's redacted. In other words, what that means is it's going to be in the classified section of your battle pass, which means you're going to have to complete some challenges to actually unlock this one. Of course, level it up. And I'm guessing if they did what they did with the BAL 27 last time, it's going to be really, really good. Now, as far as events go, they haven't announced the weekly events that'll be coming within Season 3 Reloaded. However, we do know one. It is the Call of Duty Endowment event. They haven't stated what this is going to entail, but there's basically 4 more weeks of the season, so we're probably going to be getting 3 more events on top of those ones. And as of right now, I'm not so sure what those are going to be, but again, that is probably one of those things that we will find out when the blog post is actually released. This moves us into Warzone. So if you're a Warzone player and you like playing on the big map, you like playing on Urzikstan, really not much has happened in the last little while in regards to that. We thought we were going to be getting ranked play. That is yet to happen. But the one thing that we do know is going to be happening in the Season 3 Reloaded update is bunker access. Now, in the past, bunker access has had to do with 2 things. One, Verdansk getting nuked, and number 2, it had to do with the announcement of the Black Ops game that was coming out next. In other words, Black Ops Cold War. And with another Black Ops game coming this year, could definitely see Black Ops Gulf War somehow getting integrated within these bunkers. Now, based off of rumors, they have said that that is not how the game will be getting announced, not in an in-game event within Warzone. However, we might end up seeing some teasers in those locations, so we'll have to wait to see on that front. Now, when we move into Rebirth Island, the first thing that we have here is the variable time of day. And the way that that one works is when you load into a game of Rebirth Island, when you spawn in, there's going to be a different time of day each time. You can be kind of there in foggy nighttime. You can be there during the day. You can be there at sunset. And it's just going to kind of change up the lighting of the map, but not the map as a whole. It's not like there's going to be different locations at different times of day. It's just going to look a little bit different. And I think this is good. And I'm surprised. I've been surprised for years that they haven't done this on like every map in multiplayer and every map in Warzone, but they are doing it on Rebirth Island here. The other thing that is being added is weapon trade stations. So we know how these work. You can trade in your weapons, get items for them. And one of those items that you can actually get is a new one called the Specialist Perk Package. This gives you a whole bunch of perks all at once. We know how this works. In the past, it could be got from doing Easter eggs, or in this case, a weapon trade station, or killing someone and taking it off their body. Another new thing that we have is Foresight. I don't like this one. It shows you where the zones end, and it can be used to camp a lot. And yeah, like I said, really not a fan of this one. And then the final thing is the utility box. As far as this works, it's basically a combination between an armor box and an ammo box. So in other words, it fills up your armor and fills up your ammunition and is obviously more powerful than both of those. So that's basically everything that we know is coming to Season 3 Reloaded. Speculation wise, we could guess maybe we start to see something about Urzikstan ranked, but again, I don't know. The events, I don't know. So once we get more information, stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, have notifications on. When we get that information, I will keep you updated. But as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars, but